Hello, good afternoon. My name's June. I'm going to read a story about a very special little bear. He's called Biscuit Bear. Now we all know what biscuits are and we know how to eat them and we know how they look, but this is about one very special bear. So we'll start with the story. And this is by Minnie Gray. Our story starts with a lump of pastry because biscuits are made from pastry. And Horace, the little boy there, his mother gave him a great big lump of pastry, which Horace would usually roll about all over the floor and the furniture until it was deep grey and gone a bit fluffy as well. Not really the sort of thing you would put in the oven to cook and definitely not eat. But today, Horace's mum gave him a biscuit cutter in the shape of a bear to use with the pastry. Now, Horace thought, this we're going to use and we're going to do something different. I'm not going to roll it on the floor and I'm not going to let it go a dirty grey colour. So with the biscuit cutter, he cut out the shape of a bear. And Horace's mum said she'd put it in the oven for him to cook because children must never touch ovens because they get very hot and you could burn your fingers. So always let your mum or dad put it in the oven for you. 20 minutes later, the biscuit bear was a beautiful golden colour and smelled lovely, absolutely delicious. And Horace wanted to take a bite. No, Horace, said his mum, not now. It's too hot and you'll burn your mouth. Well, later, Horace thought, well, we'll wait an hour, it should be cooled down, and then I can take a bite of this lovely biscuit. His mum said, no, Horace, you are just about to have dinner and you'll spoil your appetite if you take a bite from that biscuit. It'll have to be later. Before bedtime, Horace thought of the golden biscuit and he was just gazing at it, but his mum said, no, Horace, not at all. You've just cleaned your teeth. And when you clean your teeth, you don't eat anything until the next day. So Biscuit Bear will just have to wait. Horace put the Biscuit Bear in a little tin with a lid and he put it on his pillow. But he wanted to smell the delicious biscuit, so he took the lid off and just put it there on the pillow next to him so that he might dream about the Biscuit Bear. It was in the middle of the night. Biscuit Bear suddenly woke up. He yawned and he stretched and he looked about for somebody to play with. He didn't have all these toys, I'm afraid, and everyone seemed to be asleep. Biscuit Bear had an idea. We shall make some friends, he said. And he went, guess where? To the kitchen, which is where he came from in the first place. He climbed up on a stack of books and he went and got some butter, some flour, some milk and a big long wooden spoon, and he stirred it all up together and rolled it and shaped it, and then thought he'd wait until the next day so it could go in the oven. Horace's mum could put it in the oven for him. When they had finally cooled the next day and they were cooked, Biscuit Bear dressed them in icings of many colours. He used pink and white. He used the little tiny hundreds and thousands little coloured dots, candied peel and glacé cherries, and little silver balls. And they looked so elegant. And now Biscuit Bear said to his new friends, because he'd made friends in the kitchen, and there was more Biscuit Bears there, "Let the fun begin. We're going to have some fun, all of us. Roll up, it's one night only. Biscuit Bear's circus is performing in the kitchen. Watch the acrobats as they tumble around. Gasp at the strong bear as he raises up the rolling pin. Scream with surprise at our agronauts fired from the ketchup bottle." My goodness, I think Horace's mum is in for a bit of a shock the next morning. The circus was so exciting that no one noticed a shadow came in from the doorway. And when they did, they just stopped and stared, and they were very quiet. They didn't know who it was in the shadow in the doorway. It was Bongo the dog, and he liked and he loved biscuits, but not in the way that's necessarily a good thing. Biscuit Bear just managed to clamber up on the shelf to safety, but unfortunately all his friends couldn't run away in time, and Bongo was having the time of his life chasing the Biscuit Bears and eating a few on the way as well. Oh dear, Biscuit Bear looked very sadly at the mess. There was crumbs, and there was icing, and there was all sorts of things all over the kitchen floor. And he suddenly realised he needed to find a place where a biscuit could be safe from Bongo at least. When Horace woke up the next morning, he reached for the tin. But then he found the little bear, the Biscuit Bear, was gone. But all he found was crumbs and a card that looked a bit familiar. Oh dear, there's Horace's mum in the doorway. She wasn't very happy about the crumbs all over the kitchen floor. The life of a biscuit is usually short and sweet, but Biscuit Bear has found somewhere very safe to be. Now I wonder where that is. It's a sweet shop and a cake shop called the Golden Bun. Biscuit Bear is in the pastry shop. He's part of the display, so no one's going to eat him. Some of it is cardboard covered in icing, and some of it is plaster, but it looks delicious. But it can be never eaten. The display changes through the year, and Biscuit Bear is always the star attraction, spring, summer and winter, and he loves it, especially when there's hanging stars around and beautiful cakes with a cherry on the top, and he feels very safe. Horace goes to see him almost every day with his mum, and he is so pleased that Biscuit Bear will always be safe. And that is the end of the story. So we know Biscuit Bear was safe. And just to let you know, we are open here for the reading challenge, and if you'd like to come in and take part, we'd be very pleased to see you. Thank you very much for watching us. Bye.